Okay, I think we're ready. Good morning or good afternoon or good evening for some. Anyway, we're going to start off on, obviously there's a blog, and the blog is on 10 tips, marketing on a shoestring on a budget. And I really felt strongly, I'm gonna fix this camera a little bit. I really felt strongly about writing this blog because I think it's really important to go over because marketing on a shoestring budget is probably can be used by a lot of companies. Certainly you're not alone. And particularly some have absolutely zero marketing dollars. So if you have zero marketing dollars, these tips are definitely going to help you. If you are also time starved, this is also going to help you. So you're in the right place for sure if that's what's your concern. So if you're a small to medium business, providing a service or selling products, this is for you. Particularly if you have $0 in marketing and you're really time starved. And pretty much that covers off most people that run a business. That's the way of the world it is, the way the world is today, right? Anyway, I'm just going to let you know, I'm Penny Redmond. I'm president of Future. Future Marketing has been around for over 14 years. I've worked with all kinds of companies. I've been responsible for major, big international brands. And I just love it. I mean, I love doing this. This is my love. And what I'm trying to do now is that years of all of this experience, and now it's time for me to share my experience and hopefully help other people grow their businesses and also at the same time have a life besides just doing their business. Because quite frankly, I can tell you there's been times where that's all I did. And I kind of in there a little bit now. My husband might tell you that I'm all business still, but I do try to work much smarter. And this is kind of what we're going to talk about today, is with marketing, you can create one piece of content. And we all know for any kinds of social channel or marketing, it truly is all about content. And quite frankly, I get really tired and very stressed when I hear someone say that because I only have so much time to do content. I mean, I've got tons of other business issues and priorities that have to take place over this. So when I hear that, I'm going, okay, well, how can you create content, maybe one piece of content, and how do you reuse it and reuse it? So if you create one piece of content that is an image, or it is a graphic, or it's just like a picture, it's just a basic picture, and you've got a little bit of a story behind it, then you can recycle that in so many different places. You don't have to reinvent it. It takes a ton of time to create or to even think about what you want for content. So what I'm trying to do with this particular blog is to give you a little bit of understanding of maybe some ideas and some tips on how you can use that one piece of content and recycle it, reuse it. So here goes. You start with the blog. Okay, I know some of you don't have a blog, but honestly, if you don't have a blog, I don't know what the heck you haven't got a blog for, really. And I know maybe you don't have a website, and okay. So if that's the case, just ignore tip number one, which is the most important tip, but ignore it because the other tips still will apply to you. You can still use it, so not to worry. But really, the starting point is if you have a website and there's a blog, you had to create some kind of content. And in that blog, you will have probably one image and you will have some content. It'll be based on a theme of information. We're going to actually, when I go through this, I'm going to use this particular blog as an example of where I've used it and where you can see it, where you can find it. So proof in the pudding, right? Proof is in the pudding. So start your blog, you've got that image. That's number one. Number two, if it would go for me, there we go, is Instagram. I love Instagram because it really is a great social channel. Now, maybe that's not where your clients or customers hang out, but I can tell you that it is a great spot for you to hang out, even despite all of that, because there's so many opportunities with Instagram. It is really growing. It is one of the fastest growing channels that it's out there. And it's got so much flexibility, which is what I love. So not only you just have the opportunity to take that one piece of content that we talked about before and put it to Instagram, but if you don't even like what you're doing, you can do a story on the same content, the same theme. And if you're really super aggressive, you can do their new IGTV, which will allow you a whole hour. A whole hour of infomercial might be a little much. And really, the key to Instagram is it's not about advertising your company. It is about building relationships, building your brand awareness, letting people know who you are and what your brand stands for, and so that they can be part of your tribe. And of course, in Instagram, there's all kinds of opportunities for selling products. That was another feature that was just brought in. I also want to mention about Instagram. In a previous post, I talked about the myths of Instagram. There's 3 myths that I talked about. There's lots of myths, but I picked 3 because I felt as though they were the most important ones. And one of the myths is that they believe that if you have a business account on Instagram versus a personal account on Instagram, that Instagram favors the personal accounts when they're sending out posts to people. Is not true. Instagram doesn't identify whether you're a personal or a business account. What they do identify is what kind of interaction, engagement are you having. If you have more engagement, more interaction, then that's when they're going to push out your content. So still, going back, this one piece of content that we talked about earlier, that could have been an image, it could be about anything really, you can also put it on Instagram and in any format that is available. Facebook, same thing. It's like ditto. For whatever I said to Instagram, of course not, there is stories as well. But one of the things about Facebook is remembering is that, oh my goodness, you're going to think, why should I be putting it on Facebook and Instagram? Well, not everyone sees your posts on either one of these. If you put it on Facebook in the morning and the people that love you and follow you don't come on in the afternoon, there's a good chance they're not going to see it in your feed. So post it in both places. In fact, if you, and I'm getting ahead of it, this costs money, but I don't want to suggest anything that costs money, but if you did want to, because by the way, everything here I'm talking about is free, except for this one thing. If you wanted to really save time, is using a software that you can schedule Instagram and Facebook and Pinterest in. But we're not going to go there because this is about being on a budget. And trust me, it doesn't matter. You can go on Instagram and you can ask Instagram to paste it to your Facebook. I do it all the time. So if I'm pasting it to Instagram, at the same time I do it to Facebook. It's just done and it's free. It's the best part, it's free. YouTube's a little bit more complicated, but since I'm using this specific blog as an example, is I've done this video and it's going to go on YouTube. So it's found in YouTube too. So same content, same everything, just no new idea. It's on YouTube. Twitter, same thing. You can find it on Twitter. Same items, same content, same image, same graphic. You can just put it right on Twitter. Newsletters. I love newsletters. Newsletters is great because you know if someone has already shared their emails with you, they already like your brand. They like who you are. They want to hear from you. That's why they gave you their email. If they didn't want to see you or talk to you again, well, they wouldn't have given you your email. But obviously they found something that was that they wanted and that you have in common. So why not share it with them? I love getting newsletters. I want to know what that brand is. And the chances are that they're going to open it. They're going to go and read it. It's a lot more of a chance than if you were on social channels, but do newsletters if you've got an email address. Even if you have two people on your or email list, send it to them. It's how you start building from nothing, right? Okay, this is the most overlooked area that's free, and I can't tell you how much I love this. And love it for all the clients, for everybody, for all businesses. Now, we're just talking about one piece of content. You say, okay, well, what's Google Business Page? And we've got it set up. But did you know Google Page has this little wee promo area that you can put in your new image or your new graphic, your new content, and it stays there for 7 days. It'll come back and it'll tell you, hey, we're just about finished, but it'll stay there for 7 days. It gives Google something new and fresh to look at. It also gives you an opportunity, hits more of those keywords. Maybe you overlooked some keywords in the past. So put that in there so people can find you. Pinterest, speaking of keywords and speaking of a search engine, that's exactly what Pinterest is. Pinterest is amazing and it's easy. You can take the same content we're talking about. If it's an image, it's graphic, is going to work on Pinterest. Just do it in the evening. Just go and put it on Pinterest. Remember to put your URL on when you do post a new image on Pinterest so people are well aware of you. Even better yet, if it's on your image with your brand, that's even better because people will recognize your brand. So, number 9, LinkedIn. If you're business to business, this cannot be overlooked. You have to put that content on your LinkedIn. You have to do a post, go in there and do it. But business to business, pretty critical, really establishes your strong brand, your knowledge, your expertise in that field. And that's what people that are on LinkedIn are really looking to see how professional you are. So collaborate is just like what it says. Is that if you have, I'm going to give you an example. If you have, let me think, amazing, you're a brand and you sell, I'm not thinking of, let me think. Vitamins, you sell vitamins. And you also know and are good friends with another person that is a coach and they really promote healthy eating. Well, then why don't you just touch base with them and say, hey, I've got some material, some content. Maybe you want to share it on yours, in your content. So then that'll help both of us. So collaboration is just absolutely wonderful. You just have to pick and choose and find the right people to work with. So that might take a little bit more time, but it might not take any time. You might be really aware of a lot of people. And so give it a try. And so every option I went through today, there was 10, probably even more within those 10, are all free. That is free marketing. And every time you hit one of those other channels, it means you're hitting somebody else. You're reaching out to potential customers, or reaching out and developing a brand presence. And yes, you may not have time to do all of them because I know you're time starved, but maybe pick a couple that are really easy for you. If you already personally do Facebook, because then you can do it really quickly. If you do Instagram all the time, well, start with Instagram. But believe me, if you start with Instagram, it's easy to get into Facebook because whatever you post on Instagram, you can quickly put it onto Facebook because you know that they're owned by the same people. So anyway, I really hope that this has helped you take that one piece of content and then be able to spread it around to all different areas. And when you get used to it, it really can be very, very fast. But start off smaller, then keep growing and growing and growing, and then you'll find out that it becomes second nature. So for Futura Marketing, don't forget us. You can find us on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube. Anyway, we are really delighted to be able to help everybody out. And if you have any questions or anything, please don't hesitate to send your comments or go into Instagram, DM us, whatever is easy for you, Facebook. to send us a message. We'd be happy to respond on any of your questions. So thanks, everybody.